Imagine making clothing out of anything you find in the wild. This is what the earliest people had to do. They made them out of sticks, leaves, animals, and fabric, leather, and bones. Humans needed to wear some sort of clothing even when they lived in Africa, but when they moved to a colder place, they needed to get warmer clothing. Here's what you would have to do 170,000 years ago. In Egyptian times, the clothing was made of different materials such as linen, cloth, and cotton. They made it into shirts, kilts, socks, and gloves. Woven linen has been known in Egypt since 5000 BCE. Clothing continued like this until the Middle Ages. In the Middle Ages, clothing got more detailed and introduced different styles. Women of the Middle Ages often wore long flowing garments and head decorations such as veils and henna. Women continued to wear long robes, but the robes were in separate pieces of fabric. Now, men's and women's clothing began going in different directions. Men wore crude-wool leggings and fur-lined tunics or shirts. In the 1800s, they had a style called Rococo. Rococo had bright colors for women and big dresses. Pioneers in the 1800s wore very simple clothing as shown in this illustration. Fashion played a large role in the French Revolution. They wore red, white, and blue to show the French flag. In clothing that we wear today, we have name brands, fashion magazines, and t-shirts. The name brands included Nike, Old Navy, Gap, Adidas, and Skechers. Fashion magazines started in French fashion shows when people started copying the ideas. More women began to work in factories during the war. They wore and wore shirts, and they continued to wear these after the war.
These are skirts. They are definitely not for boys. They would really not like them.
In the future, the biggest change between our clothing and what you might see then will be the technology involved. Some things we already see are soldiers with night vision goggles. The goggles help the soldiers see in the dark. In the future, children might have clothing with built-in GPSs. Then the children won't get lost. Another thing we might have is biomimicry. Biomimicry is clothing that can change color to change the reflection of light.